friends, or whoever. And then after that, that's when the chief here will give us a war presentation for everybody that attend. But we hope you can make all of them, but if you can't, you know what scenarios you're gonna be attending or participating in. Okay? And if you got questions, don't hesitate to ask. Because that's what the whole purpose and objective of the Citizen Police Academy is, to answer your questions. I want you to be fulfilled when you leave here of any questions, inquiries, or whatever you may have about the criminal justice system. Don't hesitate to ask. And there are no stupid questions, because if you don't know, we want you to know. All right? So don't hesitate to ask. Now, if I smile, it's not to mean that I'm laughing at you. All right? I'm laughing with you because sometimes we say, I've heard this 100 times before, and where should we get it from? When we start talking about urban legends and things like that, how many of you have ever heard that if you have a knife and the blade extends past your hand, how many inches it is? That's how long, this time you get in jail. Anybody ever heard that? Well, I heard that for a long time. And when I got on the police department, I couldn't wait to look that up to find out they were lying. And they were lying. They don't exist. My mother used to always tell me, you can't drive without shoes, else you're going to jail. I couldn't wait to look that up. All right.
That's not true about that.
It's not true. Yeah. But there's a lot of different things that are myths that people hear over time, and it actually then becomes a reality to them because that's what they heard so much. So little things like that, don't hesitate to ask. If we can't get the answer, we'll write it down, and we'll make sure we have it for you next week. All right? But also next week, think of whatever questions that you may have, and we can try to answer them for you. All right, now, getting into the police department here. And the chief, I need him to refer to him some things because I haven't been here that long. So a lot of things I can tell, but the police department, I guess, had a fire some years back. And so a lot of records here were destroyed, and so there's a lot of things we don't have as far as some of the current events of the police department, unless we've got some old residents that can tell you about some of the different things that happened here. But every police department, as of 85 is when they changed the rule. Prior to 1986, I'm sorry, prior to 1986, to be a police officer, you had the police academy, but you'll find guys that started prior to 1970 didn't go to the academy. It wasn't required. All right, so therefore what happened was, they put you with a senior guy, you go ride with him for a couple weeks, and that was it. That was your FTO. That's how you learn. And so you learned a lot by trial and error. But then, in the 70s, then they started requiring full-timers had to go to the academy. All right, so they had to put, I think it was like 300 hours or something like that, mandatory they had to do. Part-timers had